India and China have been locked in a border dispute since April when rival soldiers were engaged in skirmishes at several points on their mountain border. The two nuclear-armed Asian neighbors share a 3,500-kilometer (2,100-mile) unmarked border through the Himalayas, but an uneasy peace has held since the two countries signed a truce following the war in 1962. On June 15, the border peace was broken following deadly clashes between Indian and Chinese soldiers in Galwan Valley in India's Ladakh region. At least 20 Indian soldiers died in pitched hand-to-hand combat involving clubs and rocks. Since then, thousands of soldiers have been deployed on both sides of the de facto border, known as the line of actual control. With experts concerned tensions might lead to an unintentional war. India and China share the longest disputed border in the world, but no bullet was fired in nearly 50 years until the June 15 incident. Both countries claim vast swaths of each other's territory along the Himalayan frontier, with the border problems rooted in the demarcation of boundaries by British colonial rulers. The border can be grouped into three different sectors: the eastern, central and western. Beijing has never recognized the 1914 border drawn by British officer Henry McMahon. China currently claims 90,000 square kilometers (34,750 square miles) of territory, nearly all of which constitutes India's Arunachal Pradesh state. Beijing shows it as southern Tibet in its map. On the other hand, India claims 38,000 square kilometers (15,000 square miles) of land currently under Chinese control, which includes Aksai Chin Plateau near the Ladakh region. At an altitude of 6,500 meters (21,000 feet) above sea level, the India-China border region is known for its complex winding roads, harsh Himalayan terrain and sub-zero temperatures. Special breathing equipment is required to access some of the border posts. India and China have mostly avoided border clashes since the 1962 truce. Border protocols agreed after several rounds of talks since the late 1980s have largely prevented violence except for episodic border standoffs. Arunachal Pradesh, which shares a 1,129 kilometers (700-mile) border with China, forms part of the eastern sector. The state, which is claimed by Beijing, was at the center of a full-scale border war in 1962 when India lost some territory to China. Central sector, Doklam Plateau. The central sector is the shortest with a distance of 89 kilometers (55 miles). In early May, fights erupted at Natula Pass in the Indian state of Sikkim between Indian and Chinese soldiers. The sector has remained largely peaceful, but it was the site of a weeks-long confrontation in 2017 at the Doklam Plateau, which is at the trajunction of India, China and Bhutan. Western sector, Ladakh. Population 280,000. Highest altitude 5,300 meters. The Himalayan region of Ladakh, which was carved out of Indian-administered Kashmir last August, and border regions of Himachal Pradesh form the western sector of the China-India border. Rival soldiers have clashed in Pangong Tso Lake, Galwan Valley, Depsang Plains, and Demchok in Ladakh after PLA soldiers built bunkers and brought armored trucks and artillery. Hundreds of soldiers remain poised eyeball to eyeball in Ladakh region. In the last decade or so, India has started to bolster its border infrastructure across the border, including the building of roads and airports near the lake. Experts say India's defense upgrade near the border in Ladakh and last year's change of status of Kashmir triggered the latest Chinese pushback.